Peace, family. It's Asmar, Bilal, host here at Secure Tomorrows, where we talk about what happens after the lights, after the cheers, and how athletes build real legacy outside of the game. And today's guest, we got my brother. We've been through the trenches together at the University of Notre Dame. He's the most winningest quarterback at the University of Notre Dame, an NFL veteran, a Super Bowl champion, and now a newlywed. From California to South Bend, Indiana, from draft day with the Saints to winning and holding the Lombardi Trophy with the Eagles. From the highs to pushing through the uncertainties, he's the living proof that securing your tomorrows is not just about one moment. It's about pushing through every season. I got my guy with me, Ian Book. Pleasure to have you on, brother.
Yeah, appreciate you having me, man. Excited to be here.
Yes, sir. Right, so we back on stomping grounds at the University of Notre Dame. Right, I know that's kind of where we met, but right, let's go ahead and rewind it back. Right, I know for yourself, right, you were here. You were the most winningest quarterback, right, in history here at Notre Dame. Right, when did it start clicking for you and making sense that this could really be a reality to make it to the NFL, just coming from here in South Bend?
I think my whole life, my whole entire goal was to be a D1 quarterback, like college. I always dreamed about playing in the NFL, but for me, I remember I wanted to start and play college football. Like I was obsessed with college football, always have been. The NFL was a dream, but I kind of knew that in order to make it to the NFL, like college was a huge step in that direction. So coming to Notre Dame, chip on my shoulder, under recruited, 3-star. A little bit of a filler quarterback here at Notre Dame with 5 stars every year. I didn't really care how I got here, but I got here. And I think like after that freshman year, when I redshirted and just knew that I could hang with the guys and was learning and really prepared, like every snap was going to be, like I prepared every snap that I was the starter, even though I was getting third and fourth string reps. And then things changed quick, man. I went from third, fourth string to backup just after one season. Deshaun goes to the league. Malik goes to Florida. Next thing you know, it's Brandon and I. So once that happened and I started going and training and really battling Brandon in a nice quarterback battle here, I knew that there was a chance for me to play here. And, it took longer than I wanted it to sometimes, and you get frustrated, and I just tried to keep the main thing. And for me, that was every snap that was mine, whether I was a backup, running scout team, like just prepare that I am the starter. Because when that chance comes, like one thing I always just talked about with my family and my dad was like, when I do get my opportunity, I just don't want to give it back. And that happens in weird ways, as you know, whether it's an injury, whether it's time for a change at QB, whatever it is. Like I just knew I was going to get a shot. I knew I was good enough. And I didn't care how I got to Notre Dame. Like I got to Notre Dame and I was one of the guys, right? Like, you could be a 3-star, you could be a 5. Once you're in the building, you're in the building. Yeah. So when I got here, it became a reality that I had a chance to really play here. And once I got the opportunity, I was locked in on never giving it away.
Yeah, for sure. And that's big time, right? You mentioned you were under-recruited. You were a 3-star, or you were deep on the depth chart.
Deep.
What were some of the techniques or skills that you developed to help you get to that starting position?
I think for me, like in college, obviously with Bayliss physically, that's a whole nother ball game there. But honestly, I think my mental preparation here is kind of what started everything for me in my football journey. I got to give a lot of credit to Coach Rees for mentoring me. It was cool. I really enjoyed having a quarterback coach and an offensive coordinator that was in the exact spotlight that I was in. 5 years before I was, or whatever it was. Like Tommy felt like an older brother. And that for me was huge. That essentially gave me confidence because I was going through stuff. Being a quarterback here is hard. You go through a lot of highs and a lot of lows. And to have that as a coach right there, that was just mentally getting me ready for that next opportunity. So that was, I think mentally here, I just grew in so many ways. And I think about when I'm in the NFL and things pop up, like the reps I did here mentally at Notre Dame have helped me tremendously. And that's in life too.
Yeah, for sure. And I know you just mentioned mentally, or what are some of the things that kind of help grow your mental? I know Bayliss, that was a large part, right? Pushing through adversity.
Really I got to get honestly, I talk about this with a lot of guys in our class. Like Bayliss, I'm so happy we had Bayliss.
Yeah.
It's the hardest workouts I've ever done in my whole entire life.
Right.
You try to repeat that by yourself right now, you just can't. Like it's a different level,
Right.
you know. And Bayliss taught me that like I could go a lot further than I thought I could. There was days and workouts I didn't think I was going to make it.
Truly.
And I just kept going, and we kind of did it together as a team, and that pays off on the field. And it's funny, like I wake up for a workout and be nervous.
Yeah.
Like I'd be nervous, man, walking to the Goog. I was like, here we go. But you just do it, and you do it, 5 days a week. And then you have what was it, like a special theme lift on a Friday, and you make it through that. Next thing you know, it's like this game should be easy after this, right?
For sure.
And I've learned, like when I work out now, I know what I've done before, so I kind of know if I'm slacking. Like I know what I used to be able to do, so I want to keep doing that. So
for sure.
I give a lot of credit to Bayliss. I also give a lot of credit to Tommy Rees and then my family. Like my dad was a huge role in that. Grew up with him, kind of always telling me about being mentally strong and handling adversity. So I came here, and my whole goal was just like, I have a chip on my shoulder. I feel that I can play here, and maybe other people don't. But at the same time, my biggest thing at Notre Dame was I don't really care what the outside noise is. I only care about what these guys in the locker room think about me and how we can do this thing together. And I think that was like, I look back now, I actually think I was so locked into just the guys. I thought I didn't even know what was going on around here. And now that I'm back, like I see it now with the quarterback battle now, and I'm telling these guys, it's just about in between the lines and what's going on in the locker room. Everything else is noise. And I think I did a really good job of blocking that out, and it helped me mentally.
Gotcha. Right. So being able to block out the noise and kind of guard and protect, right, what it was really all about for yourself.
Yeah.
But I know you just mentioned you had a lot of mentors, whether that was your father, whether that was Rees, or rather that being Bayliss. What did it all mean to you when it actually came down, once you finished your career here at Notre Dame and you ended up being drafted? I'm sure that meant a lot to them to be able to see the fruits of or extension.
I mean, I owe it to a lot of people for getting there. It's a heck of a journey. Start playing football when I was in third grade, 8 years old.
Early.
And then you fast forward to that day in your living room where you get the call. I remember being super nervous, sitting there with my agent, and then I had my family there, and I think it's just a dream come true. You dream. I used to watch the draft every day growing up, and I just loved football, and then to be that was cool. I didn't care when I got the call. I just wanted to be drafted any of the rounds. It didn't matter to me, and you see your phone ring, and you're just like, wow, this is awesome. I remember being pretty nervous, but it's just because you've worked so hard and you want it to be the day that you want it to be. And when New Orleans called, I just felt like it was a great situation, and I loved it, man. It was cool.
Wow. And do you remember, was there like a defining moment where you just felt like, this is reality? I really may achieve this here soon.
Yeah. I don't know if it was one single moment. It's a good question. But I do think like I had that moment where you kind of step back from life and just pause for a second. And it was the draft day. I'm sitting in my living room. I get the call, and I remember I had a party planned later that night. And that was when everyone would come over, right? When I got the call, I just wanted immediate family, and then had a get together later that night. I had a couple hours to just sit there and be like, wow, I'm a New Orleans Saint. Like, this is crazy. Got the call, and it just happens like that. And it's like, okay, next week I'm going to be out there and playing. So if this thing is real, embrace it. And then my biggest thing, I preach this all the time, is just have fun with it. This goes by quick. And I just wanted to enjoy every last moment of it.
Yeah. And then just thinking about it now, I know you had Tommy Rees, right, who was a great example, but did you have anybody just growing up that you always loved or idolized or just wanted to be? Like, I know for you went to the Saints, so initially for me, I just think Drew Brees. Yeah. Like, did you have a quarterback?
In terms of quarterback play, I've always had a handful of guys.
Okay.
For me, it was cool to be a younger quarterback, and I always liked an undersized quarterback. I thought, 6 foot tall QB in the NFL back in the day was even more crazy than it is now.
Yeah.
So I'm a huge fan of Drew Brees. I loved Russell Wilson growing up. In college, I was a Johnny Manziel fan. I loved Baker Mayfield. All those guys that kind of showed that edge and that grit during games, whether maybe they were undersized, under-recruited, and like Baker was a walk-on. I just loved the way they played. And I thought the team rallied behind guys like that with that energy, and that's kind of what I tried to do. But in terms of NFL, Drew Brees for sure. So when I went out there, obviously he retired.
Yeah.
But he was always around, and it was super cool to get to know him and kind of take a few things from his game if I could. So he was an awesome guy.
Okay, man. That's amazing. So great. So you kind of was going. I mean, you were a 6 foot. Or how tall are you?
I'm 6 feet, man.
You 6 feet?
I went to the Senior Bowl.
I don't know if you 6 feet. I feel like we were just kind of. You at least 6'1", 6'2".
No, bro. I'm 6 foot on the dot, and I remember going to the Senior Bowl and them saying 6 foot tall and being very happy about it. I was like, you know how this is. I mean, every year we keep playing, there's a shorter. It's like the QB size can go down because the game is changing. So it's
more
cool
dynamic.
Now. Yeah, but back in the day, a GM might not even look at you if you were under that 6 foot mark. Yeah. So being 6 foot tall was a big deal. So I wanted that. I am 6 feet tall, and it's worked out.
Yeah. And then so for me, so when I started playing football, believe it or not, I know I played linebacker, but I was a quarterback at some point in middle school. But what kind of advantages or disadvantages may you have being a 6 foot quarterback?
Well, I always joke around, and I think people would agree with me. But if you're a 6 foot tall quarterback, if you're a 6'3" quarterback, and your left tackle's 6'5", and he's getting bull rush, and now he's 6'7", you still can't see.
Yeah.
So what's the difference with being 6'3" and not seeing behind someone who's 6'7" at that point versus being 6 feet tall? So I always will argue it's all about finding, angles and gaps and 45-degree angles, and when the tackle and the guard, it's lanes and avenues. Yeah. But I mean, I'd imagine if your center is 6 foot tall and you're 6'5", it's probably nice to look over them. But it's all about angles, and the game is changing. The quarterback position is changing. It's super fun to see. It's changing in more of my favor, which is awesome. But these guys are getting shorter. They're just getting more athletic. And arm angles and arm power, arm strength is getting better. So
for sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
So.
And I mean, it wasn't a handicap of yours. I mean, you were the most winningest quarterback at the University of Notre Dame. But I see through the progression, right? I mean, they're finding a lot of success, right, with these athletes. So, I mean, it might be the next profile quarterback, right? I mean, dynamic or.
It could be measurables.
Measurables. Yeah, for sure.
No, it's cool to see. I think the game of football changes and it goes in waves. And right when I got in the league, it was a shorter quarterback was coming in, and now it's even shorter, and it's a different type of I mean, everything's changing. Yeah. The players are getting better every year too. Yeah. So
cool.
Things are changing.
All right, brother. And then so let's talk about this. I know you started off with the Saints, right? You were with the Chiefs, you were with the Patriots, and then you ended up winning a Super Bowl with the Eagles. Yeah. Right. What was one of the biggest lessons about staying ready in such a fluid league?
That is the story of my life. Being a quarterback that's always on that bubble, a backup QB in the NFL, like it is truly a unique position. There's normally 3 per team, so there's not that many in the league.
Yeah, truly.
And man, I just learned quick after that first year, like staying ready and staying sharp, and just knowing that you can be in a new city any night, literally. I've got crazy stories about getting calls and being in a new city and practicing that same day, and then being the backup, 4 days later for an NFL game. It's about, I think, mentally. Again, credit to Notre Dame, just like mentally staying ready and knowing that, you in the NFL, like you're truly not secure with the spot, depending on who you are. I think a lot of people think in the NFL, they see certain players that everything is like just a secure job. That's a very few percent of the NFL, right? That's 10% of those guys maybe. Everyone else is battling for a spot and, renting a place because you don't want to buy because you can get cut after camp. Like it's you get it. And it's like, that's really gotten me, I think, to where I am by just staying ready this whole time. I could have stopped a long time ago, and I've continued to train and stay ready, and it's paid off. So
gotcha. And then so a lot of what we talk about on the podcast is just securing your tomorrows. What are you proactively doing, just making sure that in the event that you do get waived, that you're making sure that you're still setting yourself up in the future? But for you, because a lot of times athletes unfortunately don't get picked up. Right. And it's also hard to be able to stay ready when you're waiting. A lot of athletes get discouraged or don't really know right? If they will get picked up,
Right.
what exactly were you doing? I'm sure you were still training, and you probably still had people to be able to help coach you during that time. But like, what are some of the things, just even mentally, that you were doing just to make sure that you were still ready to go if you did get that call?
Yeah, I mean, definitely training and throwing. I've worked out 5 days a week pretty much my whole life. I throw twice a week. And then I realized, like, I can really, in recovery, right? But I felt like I could train, throw, get recovery, and still have half my day to do something. And I wasn't just going to sit there. So for me, it was leaning heavily on Notre Dame, alumni. This place is special. A lot of these people would love to get back and help out Notre Dame people. That's what's really cool about this place. So that's kind of why I'm out here right now. Like, I can train here, I can get everything I need to be done, and then I can learn some more skills. And right now that's in real estate, and I'm enjoying it. But I felt like, I guess you have that option of sitting at home or doing something else. And I've just felt the love here at Notre Dame, and Notre Dame alumni have been essentially, really helping out with a helping hand. And if you, strive for it or go look for it, you can find it. It's kind of up to you to get out of your own way, essentially. You could sit there and sit at home and just train. And I've done that, but I felt like football ends at some point. I get that. And I just want to be ready for the next step. So I last year, while I trained, I called everybody I knew that graduated from Notre Dame and asked them what they do for their job, why they like it, what they don't like, how they got into it, what they would change, just to get some insight. Like, we don't know. When you play football your whole life, we haven't had time for the internships, the career fairs, like, truly you haven't. So I called everybody. I got lists. It was awesome. And it was so cool to see, like, the Notre Dame network say, hey, this is what I did. And maybe you call these 5 people. Next thing you know, you call 100 people. Yeah. And that's what I would do in my evenings when I was done with my football. Right. Just getting ready for the next step.
Yeah, for sure. And then let me just speak on this. I know for myself, right, choosing Notre Dame, I mean, it was a no-brainer. I'm a Hoosier. I'm from Indiana. But, of course, just with the top tier, right, academics as well as the excellency on the football field, it just made sense, that 1-2 punch. Was that part of why you chose Notre Dame? I know you talking about, like, the network and being able to utilize them and see what they were doing and things. Is that a large part of why you chose Notre Dame? Or why Notre Dame for
I
you?
had to be completely honest. Like, I didn't know much about Notre Dame, being a California kid.
Okay.
I'm very glad I came here, and I'm very glad I listened to my parents, truly. I mean, I've said this 1,000 times on podcasts, but, like, I knew about the movie Rudy, and that's about it. Like, I didn't know where South Bend was. Okay. I was a West Coast kid. I wanted to play in the Pac-12. I grew up watching Oregon, Cal. Like, that was my football. That's where I'm from. I was committed to Washington State in the Pac-12 for 3 months. I ended up getting there was a coach here that was at Boise State when I almost went to Boise State, and he came out here, and I didn't know if I was going to get Notre Dame. I didn't know. And I didn't feel like I had time to wait. Like, as a quarterback, I wanted to be the first in my class committed and start recruiting guys, right? And I got the call here after being committed to Washington State, and he was like, you got to come out and check this place out. So I came out here, and I flipped 3 days later. But when I got out here, I felt it. And then I also had my parents in my ear talking about, like, Ian, this is truly different. This is just in a world, like, scope, this school is different. And when I decommitted, it was really cool that Mike Leach, rest in peace, but he was like, he wasn't that upset. Because when he said, where are you going to go? I said, I'm going to go to Notre Dame. He was like, oh, wow. Like, he get it, which is super cool. Because I was a 17-year-old kid, I was freaking out calling him. It's a hard conversation for a young man. I thought he was going to yell at me. And he was like, oh, wow, Notre Dame. He's like, I can't even argue with that. So I don't think you understand the true value until you get out of here. And now I'm officially adult back here. And I'm like on the outs now, which is weird. But you understand the value. Like, this place is different. I talked to all my friends that played college sports. Like, our experience is different here. And if you embrace Notre Dame, it'll embrace you. Yeah, truly. And then, so let me ask you, knowing it's a Catholic university, are your parents, or do you come from a I do not. No, my wife is Catholic. So we've been leaning into that. We got married, obviously, at the Basilica here. So that's a new part of, that was new for me as well, coming here. So, yeah, I didn't come from a Catholic background, but I always think things happen for a reason, right? And coming to Notre Dame for me was like, this is, I don't think this thing happened by chance. Let's embrace this. And, I've leaned into it and tried to learn as much as I can.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, and it's big time, man. You just relying on right your parents and their advice,
Yeah.
and I mean ultimately just working for you. One of the scriptures that's coming to mind, it says, "Receive your father's instructions and forsake not your mother's teaching, and wear them as a graceful garland on your head." And what I think from that is kind of, I mean, you're living it, right? It's receive the instructions and teachings from your parents because I mean, it just helps you out rather than just believing and
Sure.
trusting in, like leaning on your own understanding.
And who am I to
It's
think
something
I knew
greater.
everything at
Right.
16 as a recruit, right?
Yeah.
And that's the best part. Like I had parents that I trusted, and I remember my mom's, she's high in academics, and she's like, Ian, Notre
This is
Dame,
it.
yeah. She was like, really consider this. This will set you up for life. And you're thinking football, football, football. Well, this was just the best of both worlds. How about best football and best academics? That's Notre Dame.
Yeah.
So it was a
Can't beat
no-brainer,
it.
man. But yeah, I definitely leaned on my parents for that decision, like I have on many decisions in my life.
Yeah. So let's talk about this, right? I know you just brought up your wife, right? So congratulations,
Thank you.
right, to marriage. How has that been just now being able to balance legacy and also being a husband?
Yeah, you know, it's been awesome. Kendall's great, and I feel like, you know, I mean, she's obviously my rock, and I feel like I have gone through a different journey where you need a special person to be there for you. My life is crazy. We've been in 4 cities. Games are high stress. Like I could understand it being hard on her. She works remote. She packs her computer up. She goes where I
Wow.
go.
Okay.
You know, we try to be settled, right? You want to be settled, or her friends are settled and have kids and living in the cul-de-sac. Like, it's just not our life right now. And I really appreciate Kendall for understanding what Notre Dame, the value of Notre Dame, and how I want to be here to just embrace Notre Dame that we just talked about the last 20 minutes. And she gets that, and she understands it, and she's out here. And then in terms of the NFL journey, it's hard, man. You're on a team one day, we go get a place, you unpack, you meet some friends, and I get a call to be in Philly that night. I just got claimed from Philly. I fly to Philly. She's got to help pack up the place, leave all her friends. Like, 4 cities. It's, you know, I think we are blessed because it's the NFL. It's but there are tough, you know, it's hard sometimes. And being on the bubble and, you know, going into a preseason game, not knowing if you're going to get cut, and she doesn't know where she's going to live the next whatever. So I respect her for being there and being my rock and understanding all that, and especially coming out to Notre Dame. I appreciate her for understanding the value of Notre Dame and why I'm coming back.
Yeah.
So she gets it.
Yeah.
It's been nice.
That's big time. And I know for me, I've been coming back to Notre Dame for a lot of weddings as of late, right?
Yeah.
So let's speak on that,
fellas are
right?
getting
How is
married.
it? I'm not married yet, right? I
Yeah.
hope so in due time, God willingly.
Yeah.
But for yourself, how important is just having a partner and having that significant other just going through this process?
It's huge.
Going through life.
Yeah. No, it's awesome. I've always wanted to be married. My parents have a successful marriage that I grew up in, and I you know, I met Kendall and I knew immediately that, you know, she was the one I wanted to marry. And then for her to embrace Notre Dame the way that I do, and, you know, embrace football, love sports, be athletic, you know, be into working out and similar things. It's awesome, man, to have a life partner to be able to do all this.
Yeah.
And for her to juggle her schedule, you know, she's sacrificing a lot. I understand that. And yeah, it's really cool. In due time, man.
Yeah.
It is true. Like, it's crazy how many guys are coming back here getting married.
Yeah.
For Notre Dame to put on an awesome event like that for us was special.
That's dope.
To get the whole family out here, like, we've had all these people come for games, but to come for a different event for our wedding was fantastic. And it goes by like this.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Yeah.
Jeez. Well, all right, brother, I know you mentioned, right, real estate. That's kind of some of the reasons why you're here now. So you dabbled in real estate and then in business, right? What's the blueprint for just being able to set yourself up outside of sports, right, now for you and also, right, your family?
It's tapping into the Notre Dame network. It's embracing it and allowing Notre Dame to embrace you. You know, a lot of guys graduate from Notre Dame and then they're gone. And I understand that everyone's got their own path, but I always felt like if I come back here, because I am truly honest that I don't know exactly, you know, what my true passion is post-football. It's great for me to be here to meet everybody, to explore all those options. And that's why I'm here. And I fell fell into real estate and I'm truly loving it. Working with the Golden Legacy team, working with, four of my offensive linemen that are now here, and they decided to come back to South Bend, give to this community, start a company, and have that locker room approach from Notre Dame now in a business environment. Like, I have the best job in the world.
Yeah. So speak on that. So it's the Golden Legacy.
It's the Golden Legacy Partners.
Okay.
So it's a real estate private equity firm started by Josh Logue, Tommy Kramer, and Liam Eichenberg. So
all Notre Dame alum.
All Notre Dame alum, all linemen, all used to protect me. So I feel safe when I come back here. Liam's still playing, obviously. Tommy played, Lug played. They've all played in the NFL, and they've come back here. Cole Mabry and I have also joined. So there's 5 of us from Notre Dame. We have a real estate private equity firm where we invest in value-add multifamily 1.5 miles around campus. That's been fantastic for us. We also opened up a brokerage side of things that Tommy Kramer is killing it. He's the #1 broker in Northern Indiana.
Oh, so wow.
Tommy has taken the helm there. And then we also do property management. So we manage all these condos right here on Eddy Street, 12 HOAs, and we self-manage everything. So tapping into the Notre Dame network, knowing everybody, investing in South Bend, a place that has changed our lives that we spend so much time in. And I'm the director of alumni relations. So I'm helping capital formation and strengthening relationships around town with all of our investors or tenants or anyone that's buying or selling a house. I'm helping them as well. So it's been fantastic, man. I can learn business, real estate, stay ready for football, be a mentor for these quarterbacks, and be back at a place I love during the football season. Like, I'm in a good gig here.
And that's a blessing because a lot of what this highlights is that navigation period for post-ball.
It's hard.
And I think you're in a good place. I mean, a lot of people they're in a low state, right? They don't really know what to do next. So if you could, I know we spoke about this previously, but talk about how exactly did you find this community to be able to work amongst other like-minded individuals? Like, what was your process to be able to work?
I would just encourage, not being afraid to reach out. When I was training and would spend half my day training and would come home, I had a goal to literally call 5 people. Just call them. Like, Notre Dame people want to answer the phone. I felt that way. Notre Dame football player calling, I felt that if they didn't have the answer for you, they would say, hey, you know what? I don't like my career, but here's 5 people that say they do. I don't know. That didn't happen to me. But
so referrals.
Just call.
Okay.
Yeah, I seriously called probably 100 people. And it was like, hey, Ian, what do you think your skills are, right? I did a skill development test. Okay. And because I'd be lying if I was like, this is what I want to do. It was easier for me to check off what maybe I don't want to do, but harder to pick what it was. But I knew, what are my skills? So I did the list of skills, and then I would ask people who are successful in their career, this is kind of what I'm good at. I have the drive. We have the hard work. Football has taught us a lot of skills that I don't think a lot of people, and I was one of these, that you don't think it translates to the business world. It's the same thing. It truly is. And I think you can learn anything. And when you learn it, if you have a nice background that I learned in that locker room over there, you can be successful. So I'd call these people, and they would just say, with the skills that you're mentioning, I think, and in my career, this is what I've seen, I think you would be good at X, Y, and Z. And I'd write it down. And then I'd call someone else, and they would say, this is my career. My one mistake was doing this, and then I'd write it down. Yeah. And by the end of it, I got the feeling that I'd be good at capital formation, some type of leadership role, and a relationship person. Those are my 3 so far. Okay. And I go to the Golden Legacy team, and I get to do all 3 in my job right now. So
that's amazing.
I think you have to try.
Yeah.
Sometimes I feel like some of these guys leave here and then they go home and they're shy to reach back out to a place that, and maybe their career here wasn't what they wanted to be, but still doesn't matter. I don't think. Reach out to Notre Dame. People love Notre Dame. They love Notre Dame football. Yeah. Lean into it. It's not that you're asking for a handout. You're asking for advice.
Yeah, for sure. And I think, honestly, a lot of times when sports end, with your identity being so wrapped into sports, sometimes they feel like, they're a failure or may not want to reach out because everyone has known them for the sport. It's an awkward situation.
Someone's like, well, do you like this and this? You're like, I don't know. I've been playing football since I was 8.
Right.
I never had a job. My rule with my parents was if I was going to play sports year-round, I didn't need to get a job. Yeah. And if I was going to take it to the next level and work on getting scholarship, then I didn't need to work. And It's like, well, you don't have any working skills. Like, really? I think we do. In that locker room, the skills that you learn from being in that locker room, being a leader, discipline, like, don't sell yourself short, essentially. That's what I learned in the last year, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
The skills that we have that we totally look past are stuff that people, very valuable. These CEOs are looking for people with. So don't sell yourself short, reach out. And I think if people are like, well, how do you reach out? I think you got to hit up your friends from Notre Dame in the locker room. That's why there is a player development person. Hit them up. Land, Life After Notre Dame. That's a fantastic resource. LinkedIn, don't be afraid to message someone on Instagram. Go to a Notre Dame game, and your goal should be to talk to 10 people at a tailgate. You just have to try. I think that's the biggest thing.
Yeah, and I think one of the biggest things is human capital. A lot of what you're mentioning is reaching out to others because others will be able to help you and guide you along that way, and not just relying on your own understanding of what exactly you want to do and trying to figure that stuff out alone. There's community, there's people that'll be able to help you. You just gotta reach.
You gotta reach out, man. And I think Notre Dame does a good job of that, and it's getting better of protecting its players and that transition. It's hard, and everyone goes through it, and nobody wants to go through it. Your career, when your playing days are over, it's a weird ego death, right, or whatever you want to call it. But it's like, who am I now as a person, right? So,
and I love that you said that. A huge ego death. I don't think I've heard that, but that's a lot of what it is. Right? It's curbing your ego aside and basically like, hey, like there's life after. I need to start transitioning and leveraging the skills that I do have through sports.
There's a lot of life after.
How old are you? How
old are you?
I'm 28.
28.
Yeah.
Like, man.
A lot of life. God willing, right?
Some of these people I've talked to at Notre Dame, very successful, great people, didn't start their career until they were 35 in something else, or tried something from 28 to 35, didn't like it, and then jumped. You know, it does go by fast, but you do have some time. So I think reach out, man. That's my thing.
For sure. So kudos to you. I mean, it's bravery in another instance, right? Of course, you have to be brave to go out there and lead teams to victory and be a winningest quarterback, and then also to be. I mean, you made it to the highest point in this profession and also won a Super Bowl from it as well. But of course, the bravery on the field is evident, but then also just putting that into, everyday life as well, just in business is huge, to have that bravery to reach out to others, connect, network, right, so that you can start building a legacy outside of just sport alone. So that's huge there. But let's speak on it, right? The elephant in the room. You are a Super Bowl, champion. Right, so how did that, necessarily feel for you, just being able to make it to that moment?
It fits in great to what we've been talking about because I stayed ready all year. So I was with the Eagles in 2022, the whole year on the active roster. We went to the Super Bowl. We lost to the Chiefs, and I was like, dang, most people don't make it to a Super Bowl, and then I figured, you make it and you lose, like it's hard to go back to another one. And then 2 years later, I just continued training after going to a few other teams and doing that and working out and tryouts. I just stayed ready. I came to the Notre Dame versus IU playoff game. I flew to SoCal. Wasn't on a team. This is December, by the way. I fly to SoCal for Christmas Eve. Got a call the morning of Christmas Eve to fly to Philly. Jalen was injured. They needed somebody to be ready. You don't know if it's going to be a week. You don't know if it's going to be 9 weeks.
Truly.
I ended up staying for 9.5 weeks and winning a Super Bowl and helping, the Eagles play the Chiefs again in a rematch that I was in 2 years ago and get the win this time. So, and it was super weird playing. I played for the Chiefs. I played for the Eagles. Now we're playing in the Super Bowl in New Orleans where I used to play. So it was like a weird full circle moment. And it was like the same team from 2022. That's like the same guy. So super cool to get back in the locker room with those guys again and win it this time against the Chiefs again. And just to make it to that game is surreal. Like, there's a very few number of people to make it to the game, and there's a very few number of people to make it to the game and get a ring. So very fortunate, and I just I'm super happy that I stayed ready every single day and was mentally strong enough to I was training the whole year into December with no calls. So
that's tough.
I could have given up a long time ago, but I didn't want to, man. I felt that I could be ready and that there could be a chance coming, and it's worked out. So I'll do that again.
And one thing that I'm thinking about, and you also played, was it the Patriots, correct?
Yeah, I was there for a quick bit.
But all I'm thinking about is you been on winning teams. The Chiefs won Super Bowl. You weren't with them at that time, but then also the Eagles. You were Patriots. Patriots were powerhouse, and also Notre Dame.
Yeah.
You took us to the playoffs right when we were playing together as well. What do you think are some of the distinguishing characteristics just about being around winners? Because you seem to, you hear the quote, right? Birds of a feather flock together. Yeah. And you seem to always be in winning environments. So tell her, what are some of the characteristics or traits?
It's good. It's good. I feel like it's the leadership qualities from the guys in the locker room. Like the coaches, and college is different too, but I still think it's the same. Like coaches can only do so much, but how are the guys reacting in the locker room together? And like that brotherhood and that connectiveness is like, it's like you can't even put a true value on it, but that matters so much in between the lines. And the teams that I've been on that are successful, like here at Notre Dame, the Eagles, the Chiefs, it's like these teams are so close. And the leadership inside the locker room by the players, not from anybody else, is another level. They keep each other accountable. And at the end of the day, when you're in the white lines, it's just those 11 guys, right? So when you're that close, man, I just felt like a part of that team, a part of that brotherhood, and it was like nothing was going to get in the way of that. And when that gets momentum, there's nothing you can do to stop it. Yeah. So I would really say that. So I felt that in those teams that are winning. That's kind of what I've felt. Everybody's hanging out outside the locker room. Everybody's, hey, checking on each other. Everyone's like, hey, I don't feel like that was your best effort. They're, sometimes it's hard to hear, but when you got guys doing that together, not just coaches or staff or upper office or whatever, like that's a big deal. So I would say that.
Yeah, and then just thinking about it, I know for us that year we made it to the playoffs. We were a well-connected crew, and I think there were different things that kind of helped with that. I know we were all playing knockout. We were literally traveling sections, just all playing, and there was just something where this family vibe was created. Yeah. Can you think of any techniques or anything that could help a group, get closer?
I think it's just hanging out outside of the field.
Just hanging out outside,
right?
Okay.
That when you get your group of guys and the day's done, and you don't just all go to your separate dorms, you go play some basketball, like you said, or hang out, go get food together. Like that matters, and that slowly takes time, and it's a process. But it's probably the same in business, right? Like, how close is everybody at the office? It's the same thing, and I think it's a connectiveness. And I don't know if there's any specific ways. I just think it's constantly being together. Yeah, understanding each other's personalities, how you might lead. This person versus me is different. Learning that, understanding how to push each other, make each other better. Understanding that you're in this thing together, right? And I have really noticed that in those successful teams that I've been on.
All right.
Yeah.
So, man, that's huge. And a lot of this, as I mentioned, is securing your tomorrows and really just being able to navigate those transitions. So I call this the transition playbook. So for you, I think you've hit on it a lot, truthfully, just in regards to just staying connected, don't being afraid to reach out. But what would you say is definitely your playbook for handling those transitions on and off the field?
I think it's like what I said, reaching out, staying connected, not being afraid to reach out. And then for me, it's, and someone that maybe didn't go to Notre Dame might not understand it, but embrace Notre Dame and allow Notre Dame to embrace you. Like, this place is special. And I think if you can embrace that, that's why I'm here. I want to be back here and around here. And that's kind of what I'm leaning into. Yeah,
for sure. And then, so my theme question on the show is, are you ready for when, if when was tomorrow?
I'm ready, man.
Right. And I think for you, you might be living it, right? Because you're kind of already doing both at the same time. You're still actively, training, right, ready to get back on the team, right, which I'm sure you will. Just from your progression, you just trained until the time came, right? So, you stayed prepared so you didn't have to get ready. And then also in the meantime, you're proactive, right? You're still working as you're waiting. So you're actively waiting on your
Correct. I feel like I have my foot in a lot of different buckets for sure, because I'd be lying if I told you that I know exactly what I want to do. And I don't think there's not that many people that know exactly what they want to do. Sometimes as athletes, we think everybody else has it figured out. I don't think that's true. So I have my foot in a lot of buckets. I'm trying things. I'm evaluating them. I'm staying ready. I'm staying in shape. I'm just trying to do all of it. And then I always just take it day by day. Like if I can just do that every day, you know, you look back 6 months from now and you're like, dang, I'm really glad I did this, that, and the other, because now look at this. Here I am at Notre Dame, right? And or here I am on a team. Like it just happens quick. So stay ready so you don't have to get ready.
Yeah, for sure. Well, thank you, brother. I mean, that was pretty much it. I mean, you hit on a lot of great things, right? Coming from, I mean, an expert like yourself, going through the twists and turns of the league and being able to navigate, right, life after that.
Right on.
Right, I think, right, that was a lot of good game that you would be able to give to, I mean, those watching.
Awesome.
So, yeah, give thanks for hopping on, brother.
Yes, sir. Thanks,
Yes,
man.
sir.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate you.